The Minister for Secondary Education, Jean-Ernest Ngale, visit to Buea was based on one motive: to see the state of affairs regarding the forthcoming Cameroon's General Certificate of Education, dubbed GCE. Arriving in the southwest region, the minister and his entourage landed at Thiku, where they were received by the governor of the southwest region, Bernard Okalia Bilai, the representative of the Lord Mayor of Thiku, among other government officials. The entire delegation then headed to Buea for a tour at examination centers to see how prepared they are for the forthcoming General Certificate of Education at the various schools and centers. The first stop of the minister was at Balingwa Grammar School Moliko Buea, dubbed BGS Moliko, where the minister Jean-Ernest Ngale and the principal went on a tour around the campus to see the number of students present. Secondly, to see those that are writing the mock session stipulated by the minister. At Balingwa Grammar School Moliko Buea, those counties, some of the classes where the principal Hannah Etondembua highlighted that over 90% of those within the examination classes, especially ordinary level, are present. For advanced level, 40% are present.
We had a total of 203 who were here in the 2 rooms this morning. For ordinary levels, that's from 5 children, we have noticed that many more are coming to write the exam. Yes, advanced level, few are coming to write the exam. Especially with the art students. The science students, they are coming, but the art students, very few. They are not coming, they have not come to school since, and they are not prepared. We have some children who have not been coming, but who are here now and who are writing. So that means they were preparing at home, and others are not.
Leaving the scene, teachers present at the various classes were a little bit amazed with the statistics given by the principal. The next stop of the minister was at Government High School Bukwango, where the minister and his entourage were received by students and administrators. Those scanty the school was shabby. The minister, however, noticed the presence of few students and staff within the campus. At the council chambers, the minister had a tete-a-tete with teachers, principals, administrative and civil authorities within the region to ask and to have a liaison between them so that the Cameroon's General Certificate of Education can move on hitch-free.
The government should at least create even a compensation fund to help the private sector so that we can better prepare the students to go into the examination. Because in your speech, Mr. Minister, you said that the right of a child says the state has to guarantee the child's education.
From elsewhere, how? The real challenge is when those children will write their.
The 102 students we had is out of 550 who registered for the exam.
Despite the chaotic nature of the discussion, as teachers elaborated measures that need to be put in place for the effective kickstart of the General Certificate of Education, measures such as security, which is a threat to their persons, as most of them risk their life to hit government calls on the effective resumption of classes.
You will realize that the 129,000 people are mostly internal candidates, and because of the crisis we have in the 2 regions, most of the external candidates do not have the access to come and write. I mean, to come and register. You know, for one thing or the other, there are those who have completely bought the idea of no school. You know, even up to now, the rumor is still going on.
After the deliberation, the minister gave his appraisal and highlighted that efforts need to be put in place to make sure that classes resume and GC kickstart effectively.
And reason for me to be here, my presence here in the South region, is to be sure that all measures have been taken to secure our exams. And after that workshop and the visit and the workshop we have with the main actors, I can say that everything has been done to have a good examination in the Southwest region.
A total of 50,967 students is the number that have all registered for the ordinary level, while 70,155 candidates have registered for the advanced level, ahead of the forthcoming Cameroon's General Certificate of Education that will be organized by the Cameroon's GCE board. These were the official statistics put forward by the Southwest Regional Delegate for Secondary Education, Upper Johnson, during the second secondary education sector conference that took place at the bilingual grammar school Moliko Boya under the theme Preparation for Official Examination 2017. Chairing the event was the governor of the Southwest Region, Bernard Okalia Bilal, accompanied by the representative of the Registrar for Cameroon's General Certificate of Education Board, GCE, and other administrative officials. Addressing the plus 2,000 stakeholders from various schools and divisions, the governor of the Southwest Region, Bernard Okalia Bilal, told the participants that this is a period where they have to put in patriotism by respecting state authorities and giving the students the right to learn and to write the examination. And they have to ensure that they work in close collaboration with administrative officials for security concern, so as to have a hitch-free examination 2017 regarding the ongoing Anglophone upheaval within the country.
To be amongst you this morning, not just to address you, but more especially to examine with you, members of the education community, the preoccupations and challenges which we have been witnessing in the course of this academic year until this moment when we are virtually on the eve of the organization of official end-of-year examinations. The head of state and the government of our country have decided that state authorities cannot allow the future of our youth to be jeopardized through irresponsible actions intended to undermine the smooth functioning of the academic year.
To the regional delegate for secondary education, Upper Johnson, guidelines have been put in place to ensure successful organization during this year's examination. The guidelines include the number of security personnel have been increased per each school and within the confines of the writing area. Equally, accommodation centers have been created. This is going for students who probably have registered for schools that are not ongoing. The regional delegate for secondary education, Upper Johnson, however, enumerated some of the problems that the organization of this year's examination is facing, such as poor checking of examination documents at the level of the delegations, delays and constant postponement of accommodation centers, non-respectance of text by students, among others. However, preparations have been put in place to ensure that some of these challenges will be solved and the examination will be written hitch-free.
For now, we know that for all the measures put in place, much has been done and the level of preparation is okay. That which can make the students go into the exams and come out with the grades they want. And that is what we want to assess how much the students can go through the exam without major difficulties. And from the reports I have from my colleagues in the field, my collaborators in the field, this has been much done. I am sure that, I'm positively sure that as we are going in for the second half, all will be smooth. The only thing we can do now is to see that we put in place security that will guarantee a hitch-free exam. For preparedness, I have no doubt.
Present during the event was the Catholic Educational Secretary of Manfi and Boya in the presence of Reverend Father Nugik Alexander Sop and his collaborator in Manfi. This is in a bid to show clear that the confessional schools have constantly maintained their stance that their doors remain widely open, waiting for parents to send their children to school. To the Catholic Educational Sector of Manfi, all have been put in place and is left for the government to ensure security so that the schools can organize examination for this year's General Certificate of Education to accommodate students.
The level of preparation has been at individual levels. The children had their way to go and prepare for themselves, and now the GCE will be written. They are coming back to write. the schools are open and they remain open, and they will come and answer the questions as presented to them. MSC supports and says that they will give security, maximum security will depend on them, they do their work and provide the security. We rely on them. Nobody knows, we are dealing with a ghost, and nobody knows who is the ghost, and so the fright, the fear is still there. We call for security, we appeal on people to carry out non-violence. We don't want violence, we don't want destruction, we want peace.
With barely weeks to go, examination fever is around the corner, but the enthusiasm among students who have registered to write examination is not there, unlike the case was in previous years. This year's examination is seen as a political moment, while others tempt it as political examinations.
To take stock of the day-to-day running of the Kumba 2 Council and the problems faced by the municipality was the major aspect in the visit of the newly appointed Senior Divisional Officer for the Meme, Nkwain Chiambah. It was the first official outing of Mr. Ndong Chiambah, who was warmly welcomed at the Kumba 2 municipality by its mayor, Ndobegang Martin Focha. In a meeting that ensued, the mayor highlighted problems faced by his council, ranging from inadequate funds to run the council's activities due to the present crisis rocking the Anglophone regions of Cameroon, which is hindering the council's revenue collection procedures, to inadequate land for the expansion of the Kumba 2 Health Center, in dire need of more space to better cater for the inhabitants of the municipality. In response to these worries, the Senior Divisional Officer for Meme lauded the council's efforts in securing its people and property while promising them rapid solutions.
Should be done according to the effective necessity. That means it is not because the mayor is the husband of my younger sister that I should work. Council, knowing that I don't have the capacity involved. It's true that I'm also Cameroonian, but what we need is all those who will help us to improve the living condition of the population. Technical services. Various technical services or what in this Kumba 2 now, who is the chief of technical services? Chief of
It should be noted that since the election of Mayor Martin Focha in 2013, the Kumba 2 municipality has seen the construction of several market facilities.
Created in the 90s is the National Communication Council, which purpose during that period was an advisory body advising the government on the kind of press laws to take. In 2012, the status of the National Communication Council was changed by His Excellency President Paul Biya from an advisory body to an independent regulatory body, which had the mandate to suspend and regulate media within the national authorities of Cameroon. The president of the National Communication Council and its entourage, Peter Esuka, was in Kumba recently to sensitize journalists on how to report on crisis management and to bring objectivity to the field. Mr. Peter Esuka equally highlighted some of the aspects at which journalists need to put in place in order to ensure objectivity, fairness and balance.
To denounce violence and intimidation against journalists, the prosecution for lawful speech, judicial harassment, and surveillance of those reporting, as well as pluralism, diversity, and quality of the media. All these are issues we will be discussing again and again, and as objectively as possible. When you are not sure of any information you're going to give out to your public, scrap it.
When questioned on who is supposed to be more credible, the private or the public media,
my question is, there's been so much talk about balance and objective reporting. My question is this only the duty of the private and not the public media? Thank you.
The president of the National Communication Council, Peter Isoka, stated that the council is putting all measures to ensure that public media brings its credibility, accuracy and fairness, that the state of Cameroon has its laws and needs to be respected. However, the discussion and deliberation among journalists equally centered on those who have been jailed during the ongoing Anglophone crisis.
The National Communication Council is there for us to advise and to regulate. I want to know what the National Communication has been doing ever since some of our colleagues who have been arrested and are languishing in pre-trial detention in Nkwain. What the National Communication has been doing so far to either get them released or get them tried properly. That is my first question.
The president of the National Communication Council equally highlighted that measures will be put in place in order to ensure that journalists are well protected during this crisis period. The meeting that ended in Chiambah had as one motive to sensitize journalists on how to report during crisis period.
Patients that they had, they turned out in their numbers and they asked very many pertinent questions. We tried to give answers to them. We may not have given them all the satisfaction they need, but I think the fact that we can come together is the beginning of something.
Although critics have it that the National Communication Council is just being reactive and not proactiveness when it comes to crisis, some elaborated that the council ought to have come out prior to the Anglophone crisis to sensitize media practitioners on what it takes to report during crisis, but waited too long, way inside the crisis, before doing a toll as to sensitizing journalists on what they need to do in terms of reporting.
And